Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're doing a very quick rundown just of how the day played out. Now, I know you saw the update earlier in the day. I just wanted to push that out, but things got even crazier. I mean, they got more unexpected. They got more pushing the boundaries. I mean, we're walking through the gym, a local real estate broker and one of the largest real estate brokers here in Houston. I know, kind of random fact, just point out there, but he's a really big realtor broker here in Houston. He's on the phone and he's like, yeah, AMC's about to squeeze. It's about to squeeze. Random occasion ever. Absolutely everyone is talking about AMC to their friends, family. The thing's blowing up. But you know what people aren't talking about anymore? People are saying Doge is going down. All this other stuff is dumping. But guess what still is sticking around? Guess what still has the buy hammer from your boy Tyler Wilson? Guess what is about to explode? Yeah, you guessed it. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it. Now, it's important that I make this video because I want to cover what the Nasdaq is doing, what indexes are doing. They're absolutely getting plummeted. This is all that's happened since we made the update video. We had a peak back up to this red line right here. I'll mark it really quick so you can see it right there. And then we moved all the way back down, making local bottoms. And it's looking like we're going to test the monthly level of, I believe it was April, of how we opened in April. So let's open this back up, take a look at where we're going to. And it looks like it's going to be this range down here, 13.1. We have quite a bit of room to cover. We broke past this major support and we're still plummeting back down. But this doesn't look that bad for AMC. I'm going to explain exactly why. Because I mentioned from the previous video today that it looked like this would start bringing AMC down, which we did get some push down, but we saw the buyers start rolling in near 30 minutes to close, and the thing pushed all the way back up to 9.8, 9.82. It's trying to hold that range, now sitting at 9.74, give or take. And I don't really care about what happens in the after hours or anything like that, because we see sporadic movements all the time in the after hours, and then we open up to regular hours, and then we start moving normally. So I don't care too much about the after hours, especially because we're trading options. However, we need to look at the chart, get a little bit more information, and I also want to take a look at the bar rate. So when we made the video earlier, you can see we were at 48.8%, but things quickly started to change. 56.9%, 62.4%, and then to end the day off in the after hours, 70.6%. Let's say you want to borrow money for an investment and they give you a 70.6 fee to borrow that money. Who's borrowing that money? This is ludicrous. This is insane. And we haven't been at these levels back since overall, I want to say December. It's crazy what's going on. Look at the numbers. And then I have people asking me, Tyler, where was GME when it had its short squeeze? Great question, Timmy. So when GME had its very big move, it was right here. We can actually hold the cursor over it. You can see it was about 51. We got all the way up to about 81% as well. It's hard to put it on there on the iPad. 84%, as you can see right there, on January 26th. And we're sitting at 70.6 short borrow fee right now. Now, it's possible that BlackRock is loaning out small amounts at a time, collecting this massive fee. But I'm telling you guys, this is looking insane. It is setting up for Armageddon. And I believe we're going to be on the good side of Armageddon. All right, so looking at the chart, let's talk about a few things. We broke out of this channel. We came back down. Now we're breaking back up. And then we tried to hold right above that VWAP on the day. That was beautiful. That movement that we had above the VWAP was absolutely gorgeous. It's what we needed. It's what we expected. That's what we wanted. But at the end of the day, we ended a little bit below. So we'll see how that affects us going into the morning. But we got what we wanted and what we accomplished today. So right, we had that 10.2 touch. We came back down, retraced, and now we're moving sideways, consolidating, if you will. Now, I believe the next time we touch that 10.2 range, it's going to be a clear-cut break, flipping to become an SR. If you don't know what SR means, it's a support and resistance flip. So resistance then becomes support, and that's typically how these price action levels work. So that's why I'm so excited specifically about that range, and I do believe it is upon us. If we can get any sort of index push, any sort of rebound from the Nasdaq or the SPY, it will absolutely send AMC moving into a crazy spiral of events. This thing is absolutely ready to take off. Now, it is worth mentioning, we did get the movement last time on AMC and GameStop with the market moving down. That is important to know. So we can move without the market behind us, but AMC has shown based on history that it moves best with the market. That's just the way that it works. So I don't make the rules. I'm just saying what's been happening in the past and will it keep happening in the future. That's just how I like to bet my money. money. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the charts because we're just looking at the same levels. It was a consolidated day. We had a 10.2 touch, and now we're coming back down. But there's a few things I do want to talk about, not on the charts or not based on news. Now, the volume throughout the day looked pretty good as well, and then it kind of stagnated near the middle, and then it picked back up again. So we actually had more volume. I think we pushed right above 40 million, so that's pretty good as well. We broke that plateau from last week. So that's looking good. The volume is finally there, and I believe the volume is going to start steadily increasing as well. This is becoming one of the more lucrative options to play right now. Now, people are also saying, Tyler, there's other positions, there's other stocks that have reached these high levels. And I agree. Yes, they have reached those high levels, but those stocks haven't had the publicity as AMC has, right? So AMC, every time it reaches these really high levels, it tends to perform very well. Just look at how it's moved in history, right? So the last time it moved to 26%, near the middle, end of April, we saw a really nice push up to 12.5. And then from there, it dropped back down, and now it's pushing back up. So just look at how history has treated AMC, and just look at the trend that's been going on with AMC. Now, I'm not trying to make conspiracy theories or anything like that. I'm just pointing out stuff that's happened and has a possibility, a high possibility of happening again. That's how I speculate on some of these plays specifically. Now, I understand you can't trust TA fully, but it does give us a good look on where supports and where resistances are, and particularly where you can add more to your position. And that's what I'm using it for myself. So people, take what I say with a grain of salt, do your own DD, especially when it comes to that end. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a college kid with a finance degree. That's all I am. But I recommend you do your own research on the stock. But people are talking about, that's a really big thing that we need to talk about. Like, people were talking about Doge. People are back to talking about AMC. It's definitely the people stock, if you will. And I believe that we're getting that notoriety, and it's about to start getting that next leg. Now, I don't know how high we're going to go. I don't know if we're going to touch $100. I don't know if we're touching $50. I don't know if we're touching $20. But I can say I feel very confident that we're about to get a pretty massive breakout. The OBV, the volume looks fantastic, and there's not that many shares left to short. Any day now they could hit that same level like they did before, where they hit 0%, and then they just stop showing the short borrow fee altogether. And they did that last time for almost 5 days. That's what it seems like when you're looking at these hedge funds. They're just making up rules and just doing what they want. But ultimately, AMC has been sticking around this range, and it looks like things are about to get crazy. So I definitely want to be involved in this stock, and I definitely want to have options and be exposed to my positions here as well. Now, it's worth noting, I mentioned it in the last video with a disclaimer, this is one of the riskier plays to play in the stock market, but right now all stocks are getting crushed. So it's worth mentioning that AMC actually held up pretty well today, all things considered, against the rest of the stock market, which everything else seemed to be very red. AMC came out with a strong outlook on their earnings. They did miss on EPS and revenue, but the outlook was incredibly strong. They have a strong rest of the year plan, and they expect to do $2.2 billion in revenue. That's when Doge says much wow. And so we're looking for more volume to come back in through more retail traders who just made a killing off of Doge, who just made a killing off of all these other cryptos and other stuff like that, with cryptos bleeding heavily today. AMC looks like the only beam of light right now. Now, I'm not just hyping them up, and if you watch the channel, I don't hype AMC stock up. I give you the complete bitter truth when it comes to any stock, but I love what I'm seeing, and I could not be more excited about AMC. We got the push, like we mentioned, on Friday and Saturday, going into Sunday as well, to 10.2. We hit that to a T, and then we came back down, and I believe it's gearing up for a next level push, maybe a retest of 12.5 in the coming 24 hours. I'm just saying it's possible. But that's going to wrap up the video. If you want to see every single trade that I'm getting in, the Patreon link is also down below, so make sure you check it out. But like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Namaste.